All right, welcome to class. You're probably wondering where in the heck is Mr. Reardon? Well, today we are really quite honestly, our family is honoring one of the great ladies in our lives, Esther, who passed away last Sunday. And we're having first services and graveside today. I've been honored to be named as a pallbearer by the family, and it is a great honor. This is one of the great women I truly have ever known. So that's where I'm at today. Mrs. Hill has graciously volunteered to sit in and help. So here we go with our first day, kind of weird week, huh? Our first day of hybrid learning. First thing I need for you to do is to log into your computers. Now, first of all, you're going to notice you've got a monitor wherever you've been assigned to sit. You've got a monitor. Some of you, your monitor is quite simply with the smaller monitors. Power button is in the bottom right-hand corner. Those are the easy ones. For the big monitors, you have to kind of reach behind the left side of the screen and locate either the top of three buttons. You might want to kind of look around, get up, look around, see what I'm talking about right now. Behind your monitor, if you have one of the big monitors, look for either a single button on the far left or the top of three buttons on the far left behind the monitor. Locate that now, please. All right. You're going to want to turn on your monitor, and then you have your box, or what's called the central processing unit, the CPU, and most of those are upright, and you will find a button, a power button, on the very top face on the front of what we call the CPU. So you have to turn on the power to the CPU, and you have to turn on the power to the monitor. All right, that's going to be like our first test here. All right, so I want you to get your monitor turned on, and then after you get the monitor and the CPU turned on, you will need to log in. Your login will be your 7 digits, your 7-digit code, just like you did with like Remote Student or Google Classroom or whatever. In this case, it'd be just your 7-digit code, right? That's your username, not at CPPS, just 7-digit code. And your password is that 10-character password to log into the system. 7-digit student ID, 10-character password. All right. So I'm going to ask Mrs. Hill to pause the video. And now we're going to get everybody logged in. And the first time you log in, by the way, it's going to take you a while. It's going to give you some messages about, it's going to be running your profile for the first time. So this might take a little bit. But I'm going to have her pause the video here for a moment while you get logged in. Okay? All right. So we're back. We're all logged in. We got that far. That's awesome. Okay. Next, I would suggest logging into Google Classroom. So pull up a Chrome browser on your screen and go ahead and get logged into Google Classroom. And while you're at it, I would get logged in to Sam. Now let's maybe just take one thing at a time here. Log into Google Classroom. I'm going to have Mrs. Hill pause the video while everyone around the room gets logged into Google Classroom. And once you do, like I have on the screen here, you want to go down to week 7. Yes, we're on week 7. Yes, we're on the middle of PowerPoint chapter 2. More on that in a moment. I'm going to have you pause the video, make sure everybody gets into Google Classroom, okay? And now that you're into Google Classroom, here we go with what's going on this week. So this week, we're going to finish up chapter 2. Now, again, I'm moving right along here, and some of you are a little bit kind of overwhelmed a little bit. I understand that, because my expectation has been for you to have 1 hour of work for every hour of class. It's kind of been my pacing. And when I'm back on Thursday, I think I can maybe get some of you up to speed, and maybe some of you can start coming in even after school, like 3 o'clock. I've gotten permission for that. If you need some additional help, that would be a good time to be doing that. Okay. So this week, our focus will be today, our focus will be on working through the project in PowerPoint chapter 2. and the quiz later on this week, doing the practice exam again later in class on Thursday, and then finishing up with the quiz later this week. Then G-metrics is something that every week you should try to get like 40 minutes in on G-metrics, whether it's at class time or at home, getting that practice time in on G-metrics. And that is called the G-metrics. What we were working on most recently is the PowerPoint Associate 2019 Skill Review. So today our focus point will be the project. Now all these assignments will ultimately be marked due as of Sunday, but expectation is that by class time on Thursday, you will have finished the project. It's not super long. I'm going to open this up as you have Google Classroom open. I'm going to open this up as well. And again, I want to point out as I have this YouTube video, in case you get stuck, like I don't know how to do number 5, I don't know how to do number 7, there's that YouTube video to kind of help you walk through that. Okay? So there's that. And let's see here, what else? That's going to be your helps file right there. There's your login to SAM. And there's an instruction file and a support file. Now, some of you do not have the learning packet for PowerPoint. And many of you thought, I got a learning packet at the beginning of the year. Remember, we switched gears about 2.5 weeks ago, and we've gone from Word to PowerPoint. And so I want to make sure everybody leaves today with a learning packet for PowerPoint. Now, if you've already picked one up, then don't grab a learning packet. I will have some extra copies of the instruction file for PowerPoint on the counter here for Mrs. Hill to pass out if you already have a learning packet at home, but didn't bring the handout for chapter 2. All right, that'll be available. But if some of you just tell Mrs. Hill, maybe right now, pause the video and say, Mrs. Hill, I need a PowerPoint learning packet. And those are in the box over here in manila folders, 1 per student, and I'll have her distribute those now. If you do not already have a PowerPoint, emphasis on PowerPoint learning packet. Okay, pause the video. We're back. Okay, so here we go. We are going to get into SAM. And again, I'm assuming you all have an instruction file for PowerPoint chapter 2. And you might have to go down into your learning packet if you already have one, just a little ways, and find something that says Focused Safeguards Training. Let's make sure that's the right file here. Well, mine says Personnel Insurance. That's interesting. Okay. I'll make sure I've got the right file in the learning packet. That would be really good that you would have that, don't you think? Yes, I agree. All right. So I'll make sure you have the right file there. Okay. And here we go. We're going to go into SAM. And we're going to get logged into SAM. I may be going a little faster than some of you like. And help if I knew my password, huh? That'd be really good, Reardon. Yes, it would. Okay, here we go. I'm going to switch to student view. And again, I may be going a little fast here. Maybe I'll just pause just a little bit to allow you to get into SAM. You've gotten into SAM several times now. This shouldn't be anything new. All right. We're going to the activity list. Mrs. Hill could pause the video if I get going too fast. And one more time, we're into the activity list. And again, to find a project, which is where our focus will be today, we're going to uncheck exams and uncheck training and get into the projects. I'm going to go down and find SC Project PowerPoint. Looks like I've already turned that in 5 times. That's a bad example. Let me go back to my project, my version of that. SC Prod. This is going to look a little bit different now. Now, the reason I couldn't find that, by the way, is because I've already turned that in for grading 5 times. Go figure, huh? SC Project PowerPoint Chapter 2, Lab 1 is what we're looking for there. And for that, you will find this instruction file. Let me just open that up really quick. and that is called Focused Safeguards Training. Yes, that's the file I have in the learning packet. That's also the file I have extra copies for Mrs. Hill to pass out so you can work on that project in class. There is a support file over here called Scraper. Now you can't see the solution file, that's just for me. But there's like a picture file over here on the right, a support file. You can either download that from Sam. I'm just going to do that now. Click on that, put it to my downloads. That Scraper picture. And there's this file name with your name on it. By the way, where in the heck did that Scraper picture go? Well, on the bottom middle of your screen, down there at the very bottom, that yellow File Explorer button. You click on that, go to Downloads. There's that picture of that Scraper. So when it asks you in your project, hey, it's time to put that picture in, that's where you just downloaded it to. Now, here's the most important thing for projects. Click on the link that has your name _1 here, right in the middle. Go ahead and click on that. And this is where I really want to make sure everybody is on the same page. I don't have anybody getting lost here. All right. You clicked on that and it goes down to your downloads. It's a PowerPoint file. This will be the start file. Open that up. And there it is. There's the start file. Enable editing. Now, my expectations are that by now you have gone through the demo and you've gone through the practice exam, but we're going to be working on the project today, whether you've done those or not. And if you still backlogged, have to go back and at home or whatever, work on those. That's something from last week that should have gotten taken care of last week. So here we go with our start file for PowerPoint. Note at the top here, it says your name _1. Here, please do this with me now so you don't forget. First of all, I got to move my camera here. File button, File, Save As. File, Save As. Our two rules for projects. Rule number 1, save it to your documents folder. Now, this is going to be saved on your College Place Public Schools, your College Place High School Documents folder. So click on Documents, make sure it goes there. Then rule number 2 for projects, make sure that you click on the end of the file name, backspace, and put a 2 on the end. So it's _2. Your name _2 to your documents folder. Now, if you just are just kind of, whoa, it's the first day, I don't know what's going on, and you save it to your downloads file, later on, if you want to pull that up from home on like your laptop, you won't be able to get it because it will be literally sitting here on a computer at College Place High School. But if you want to access that from home later on tonight, which I hope you do, or tomorrow to finish up that project by Thursday, then you can go into Remote Student to access that file. Now, I'm going to pull up a little bit of video. Actually, I'm going to attach a video to this assignment, add it to the assignment so you know exactly what I mean by, what is he talking about? Remote Student, how do I get there? Whatever. I'll add a video just in case you didn't remember how to get to Remote Student. So we save the file, _2. Now we have our instructions for Chapter 2, Focus Safeguards Training. You have just done everything in the getting started steps here at the beginning. You've already done all those. So now we're on to project steps. Number 1, as the personnel security analyst for Focus Safeguards, you provide companies blah, blah, blah. You want to enhance the first part of your presentation. Start by creating a custom design element on the slide 1 title slide. Okay, now we're getting into like terminology and stuff that we would have covered last week, should have covered last week in the demo and the practice exam. All right, so there you go. You're going to work through the project during this period, getting as far as you can. See, how many tasks do we have here? We have 10 tasks. This is not a big project. And if you get done by the end of the period, you can actually save it and turn it in for grading, which a lot of you already know well how to do from our previous chapters in both Word and PowerPoint. All right. But there you go to get you started on the project. Again, I will add a video that talks about, okay, my project is sitting here at College Place High School. How do I access it from home on my laptop? And I'll be back here on Thursday to answer any further questions about the project. And again, you've got that helps video. Don't forget that. You have that helps video in Google Classroom. Whoops, that's definitely not it. Right here on how to do that particular project. If you get stuck on number 1, number 2, number 5, whatever, you can pull up that helps video, maybe split your screen. You can access that while you go through the chapter. Thank you, and I look forward to actually meeting you in person on Thursday. Take care.